And to Australia now, there's major concerns for the mental health of residents of 9 Melbourne tower blocks that have been locked down amid fears COVID-19 could spread out of control in the high-rises. There are 3,000 residents in the public housing blocks in Flemington and North Melbourne, where about a dozen households have cases of coronavirus. On Saturday, residents were told to stay in their apartments, and since then there's been a heavy police presence stopping people from coming and going. State authorities say food is being delivered to residents as well as care packages including games and toys for children. Large-scale testing is underway in the blocks that have shared facilities like lifts, corridors, foyers, rubbish areas and laundries. And that raises concerns that high-density living conditions could help COVID-19 spread. Earlier today, I spoke to the president of the Australian African Association, Nasa Iggy, who has been outside the towers helping get information and supplies to residents, many of whom do not speak English.
They escaped from the war zone in East African countries, mainly in the South Sudan, Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia and Eritrea. So mainly the 80% of those in that building are from the East African countries. There is other African countries and also from the Congo and all that sort of stuff.
What is your biggest concern, Nasa?
Mental health. Those people need a very urgent counselling.
And why do you say that?
They traumatized. They're not very happy about the situation in that building. It's very horrified. Have you been to one of those? Have you ever been to detention, like 14 days quarantine detention? Have you been in there? Then you don't understand. I've been one of those, and I was in a 5-star hotel. And imagine I was not very happy about it. Imagine somebody in a tower that has been built in 1940s, and there's no air, there's no sun, nothing. You can't move around. You're just stuck in that very small apartment. It's very, very hard.
That is Nasa Iggy. Now, Amal Ahmed lives in one of the tower blocks in a 3-bedroom apartment with her husband and 7 children aged 10 months to 12 years old. She's employed as a healthcare assistant, but at the weekend she was told she couldn't go to work and her family could expect to stay put in their apartment for up to 2 weeks. Amal feels they're being treated like animals despite being law-abiding citizens and following all COVID prevention rules, including wearing masks when they leave the house. She was juggling one of her youngest children while we spoke and told me how she found out about the lockdown on Saturday.
They didn't give us much of explanation. They just said, you have to. It's an order. You have to stay inside your house. You have to stay inside your house. And we were like, why? We need shopping. We need everything. We got kids, and we can. We have to go. And he was like, no, you have to stay. They will get whatever you need. You have to stay. And then when I told him whatever I need, it's like, no, I don't have that at this moment, but we'll get it for you. So just stay in the house. And it's an order. And he was quite firm with his orders and quite threatening. So when you went outside, where are the police? And are they in the building as well? Can you tell us what's happening? Outside the building, like in front of the staircases, in front of the main exits.
There are police everywhere.
There were a lot of them. And the only thing that made us even more scared was like, what did we do wrong? Like, what are you all doing here? Because there was not enough explanation. There was not enough warning. At least, if they would warn us, at least, 24 hours prior. What the Premier said was midnight tonight, and there was not midnight. There was straight away in the afternoon. As soon as he did the press conference, they were there.
So, have you had a chance to talk to your neighbours? How are people in the building feeling? How do you feel about the situation?
Everyone is quite agitated. Everyone is quite intimidated, and everyone is. We all feel, to be honest with you, stop! Don't do that! Everyone is agitated. The most sad thing is the kids, because they don't understand. They want to go out and they don't understand. We just have to keep on explaining, and it's just getting a toll on them now.
So, Amal, you have 7 children and you cannot leave the apartment. So what's it like for you at the moment? The kids can't go outside to play or anything.
It's quite overwhelming, as a young family, me and my husband were quite young, and we're trying to cope with them, because usually we take them to the back and entertain them, and we do things with them, day-to-day things, and we cannot do anything now. We just can't do anything. We're just in complete misery. They're overwhelmed. We're overwhelmed. We try to entertain them as much as we can, but it's not enough.
So what about food and delivery of the things that you need? Has anything arrived for you?
Food, in terms of food, like they give us this bucket, and that bucket contains like half a kilo of like pasta and all that stuff, which is rubbish. It's not enough for a big family like mine. And also, they were delivering some cooked meals, which we suspect, and they're putting outside the house on a thin layer of paper, like a dog. That it's not even enough. What do you call? Like it's not safe. The food is not safe because they're putting on the floors.
And what about for the children?
Yeah,
do they deliver anything for the children?
Well, they're fake promising. They say they're going to give them crayons and babies and something to play with, but no, there was nothing for them. And the sad thing is, we want to do at least if they let one of us go and get the shopping and come back, because I work, I have kids, and I go to work. And they said like. We will provide money, but that money is not enough for us because I work more than what they're going to offer. Like 1,500 is nothing. I make more money, like almost 2,000 a fortnight. But the thing is, if they even let us go, like one of us go, and we can buy whatever essential we need and come back. Of course, every time we leave, we're wearing masks. It's not like they are protecting our health for us. We're protecting our health for ourselves. And we're being through coronavirus all the time, and not everyone is coronavirus positive. We were a safe community, law-abiding citizens, and we still are. I work for the healthcare industry, and they're still doing the same thing to everyone, which is not fair. There's a lot of postcodes that are in lockdown, and they have, four, they can go for 4 different reasons: education, work, exercise, and groceries. I have even a letter from my CEO saying, like, you can leave, your property. Just show them the card. Like, no, I can't. I made them speak with her and told her, no, she can't leave. It's just sad. It's really, really sad.
What have they told you about testing for coronavirus?
All right, I got tested on the 25th because of my work. I got tested, and I have my test result, and it's negative. And there's a lot of people who are in our building that got tested. Some of the tests come back yesterday. And when we show them that we got tested and the result is negative, they're like, no, we don't care. We have to test you again. I was like, you're just wasting the resources. This is the government resources you're wasting. We already got tested, and this is the result in our phones, and it says negative.
Amal, what about the rest of your family, your children and your husband? Have they been tested? Will they have to be tested?
They don't have to be tested because they're healthy. I got tested because I was exposed to one of the people that got tested positive of coronavirus, and then I was in lockdown in my house for 14 days in my room by myself. So my kids are not exposed, to my husband is not exposed, and I self-isolated, and then I got tested, and I'm negative. We're doing every right thing. We're doing the right thing. It's not like we are some sort of like out of control animals. We're doing every right thing.
How do you think you're being treated, Amal?
We're being treated unfairly, and this government is using like power against us, and this abuse of power. While some postcodes are in lockdown and they're still free to do like for those things, what's different to us? Why are we different from them? Why are they treating us like this? Why are we some sort of animals? Like, why are we like second-class citizens? The only sad thing is they're locking down and they're abusing us, and our virus is already out there, and people are still spreading the virus, and they're thinking like they're shining the spotlight on us. Oh, the hotspots, the coronavirus hotspots, 9 towers. There are towers in front of our buildings. They are private-owned towers, and they're free today. And they're going everywhere they want, and they have lifts and everything. But why are we paying like for everyone's mistake while we're doing the right thing?
Amal, have you been told that you have to stay in your apartment for 2 weeks, or how long for?
All right, so what he said was 5 days, okay? And he said 5 days. But now what I'm hearing is 2 weeks, officially 2 weeks, because they cannot test all those people within 5 days. Anyway, he's lying, lie after lie after lie. And I'm 110% sure it's going to be 14 days. I don't think so it's going to be 5 days.
So what do you reckon that's going to be like for 14 days with your 7 children unable to go outside and you and your husband can't leave to go to work? What is that going to be like?
It's going to be a disaster. It's already a disaster. It's going to be a more disaster because it's just hard to entertain kids. And it's hard to tell them we are in lockdown and we can't leave. It's just too hard. I don't know what we're going to do, but it's just going to be an overwhelming chaos in my house.
And that was Amal Ahmed, who is in forced isolation with her husband and 7 children in a high-rise apartment block in North Melbourne.